everyone, welcome to TBH Beyond Borders. I'm here with the amazing Vathanak, and we're going to talk about India, we're going to talk about Cambodia, and we're going to talk about Vathanak's experiences in Brisbane. And it should be fun. So you're Vathanak, but you also go by bonbon. And recently you also told, and I was really curious about that, and I recently asked you, what's bonbon and why bonbon?
That is my debut to social media. Actually, my Facebook also used to have bonbon.
Okay.
Like, I put it bonbon at the back of my Facebook and Instagram thing.
Yeah.
But right now, I could keep only in Instagram
yes.
because people take things so serious in Facebook.
Yeah.
So they want us to have like full name.
Like a professional.
Yeah. So bonbon, it means candy.
Okay.
Like when I study French, like for my bachelor degree.
Yeah.
So I hear that word and I think it is kind of cute. I saw a lot of female that they put the word sweet tea. Like if the name is Sega, so they put Sega sweet tea inside the Instagram. So I want to be sweet just like that. So I decide, why I don't put something that feel like a guys, like a boys, and make it like sweet as well. So I decided to put Vathanak bonbon.
It's definitely a word that me and a lot of your friends associate with you. And it is a nice, like it's a quirky, sweet word. You know, it's like, and I like it a lot because it suits you. Like if I put the word bonbon and I put like a picture of you, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You exemplify the word bonbon.
You talk about beautiful smile.
Speaking of your Instagram and speaking of bonbon is like the last name that you've put on Instagram. Is that I really like, and not just me, a lot of people like your Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm constantly amazed by how many photos you can take, and I'm constantly also amazed by how like the quality never goes down. Like every photo that you post is like, it's amazing. Like you really have not only have you have a talent for it, but you obviously have like a passion for it because like there are so many great photos.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So like, wow. Like I have just so many questions. Like first, like let's start with like, when did you like start photography, or when did you find an interest in photography?
Talking at the back from the ancient time, that is when I was so young. I look at my photo and I asked my mom, this is my photo, right? And she said, yes. I asked her, why not many? And my mom said that we don't have camera, so someone else come to take photo for us.
Yes.
But they don't really like me because I look fat, small, and my hair is so messy.
Yeah.
And just fat and walk around and also black, so ugly. So people don't like to take photo of me. They love to take photo of my sister or someone else. So I didn't get good photo. So in my mind I thought that I need to have a photo. But my house is still poor. Like we don't have like much money. My dad passed away for a long time. So my mom is the one who handles anything. I really want to have a camera, but I never have.
Yeah.
So the first time that I bought a camera, it is with a phone like Sony like K850.
Yeah.
That is the Sony that is best at camera.
Okay.
Yeah, and I start to take a photo, and it looks so ugly from the beginning.
Yeah.
I know that from the beginning every photo shooting is ugly, until one day that we start to realize that it is ugly, and then we want to change. So I start to like take a look at the photography book and try to do like some research and meet a lot of people that do photographing and go to their exhibition to see how they take a photo and then learn from them. And then I start to improve even my like taking photo by my own. Or maybe like ask someone to take photo for me. So it is a time to teach my friend to take photo for me.
Exactly. Yes.
I really feel upset sometimes that I always take a good photo for my friend, but I always get a photo without my leg or maybe cut out my hair. And I think that it is their mistake, but it is not. It is my mistake. I should share. I should tell everything that I know to my friend in order to get like something happy together.
It's so interesting that that because you're a good photographer. Let's start with like the origin story, if I may. for your photography, the talent of photography. If I may say, like the Marvel origins to your superhero talent of photography has really sad beginnings. But it's also I think it's something that you can laugh about it now. But I really like it. It's sad and it's a bit depressing, but it's also like such an interesting curve that okay, you started off with someone who wasn't photographed, and then you really loved photography, but you couldn't. But then you finally got a camera that was supposed to be good at photography, and then you just started learning and getting inspired and imbibing from other people who are good at photography how to do photography. All of this, and now you've become such a great photographer, but all of this just so you can have good photos of yourself. And now you're in a conundrum where you're like, sure, I take good photographs, but now my friends take sucky photographs of me. So now you're teaching everyone. Like you've gone from a person who was not photographed to a person who mastered photography and is now educating people in photography. All of this, just so you can have a good photo of yourself. And that's depressing and amazing at the same time.
But I tell you guys the fun fact about me.
Yeah.
I never have a camera.
Yeah, you don't need a camera these days.
I always use phone camera.
Yeah.
And I keep telling myself that save some money and buy a camera. Save some money and buy a camera. But after I save money, the money is almost reached to buy the camera that I want.
Yeah.
I start to feel, I need more photo. I'm so depressed. I want to travel. So I use all of the money to book a flight ticket. And then I just come back home, save the money again. But
isn't that a good compromise? Like, wouldn't you, if you had two options, one option is buying a great camera and not traveling, or the second option is using your phone camera and traveling. Wouldn't you be happier with the second?
Yeah.
Because this year itself, if I'm not wrong, you went to 6 cities. You went to Tasmania, you went to Sydney, you went to Cairns, you went to, I'm missing out 2 cities, but
Melbourne.
Yes.
Canberra,
yeah. And people love the photography that you do, not only with the surroundings that you have, but also the ones that you do when you're traveling. And it's amazing. And I think it's a good compromise. That you prefer traveling over a good camera because you don't need a good camera. You're really good at what you do.
Tell you guys the truth. I took a lot of photos, but I pick only the best photo to post. But there are a lot of clumsy photos that I took because, let's say my skill is not advanced, maybe intermediate, and I don't want it to improve to the advanced. I really love things to be intermediate.
But why not?
Yeah, all the thing that I want is intermediate. I just want a normal life, so I just pick the best photo to post. But I have 2 things that pop up in my mind. Does my photo inspire my friend to traveling and feel happy, or my photo affect to their mental health that they could not traveling? So that is pop up in my mind suddenly.
Right.
That's why I try to find funny caption to put in my photo, to make people that might stress, that they are stressed at work and then they want to traveling, but they see my photo, they might feel upset about it. So I try to put some funny thing to make them remember me, that when they take a photo with me in the past 10 years or maybe past 5 years, that they feel happy and want to traveling just like me.
You're trying to inspire people to travel, but you're also trying to make them feel better if they feel bad about you traveling.
I really don't want to make them feel bad. That's why I try to.
But isn't that Instagram? I'm sorry, but isn't Instagram all about making other people feel jealous about what you're doing?
It's supposed to be. It depend on your situation. We know that mental health is so serious.
Yeah.
We might have one type of mental health, but we don't know that our friend have what kind of mental health.
Yeah, so it's something that's stigmatic to the sense that we don't like talking about it. It's always treated as something that you don't share.
Yeah.
And it's a very complex thing. And when we're all learning, it's something that we've, as a society, we started to talk about it very recently. We never really spoke about importance and mental health for a very long time. Yeah. But it's good. I don't know how to feel about this because you're right. If you're doing so well, there will be people who will be inspired by it. But there also might be people who might be a bit jealous.
I might feel jealous sometimes with my friend. Like,
But why though?
it depends on your mood. Actually, when you did something that's totally bad day and you really want to like traveling, and then you check why the guy is in Sydney, and then it's just like I need to go to Sydney as well, but why she is over there? And then later on, why the guy in Cairns? And then I start to stalk, and then oh, she did a great job. Like she inspired me like to see like she did traveling and do something about leadership thing.
Yes.
But it is a good thing. But like something in my mind, if I feel so bad that day, it might come across with me that I might feel upset to myself that I want to traveling or maybe do something for myself as well.
Right.
It might not be just traveling. It might be some like small gig for ourselves every day. I want people to feel happy, like anytime, like know how to treat themselves well,
Right.
and like take care of themselves all the time.
Right. So you're trying to basically like Instagram has goods and bad. The bad version is that it does fuel insecurity, it fuels jealousy, it fuels. That's why that's why Instagram's so addictive because not only it used to be something or it can be something where you just check up on your friends, but there's also a different side to it where you're just like you're fueled by insecurity and you're seeing photos which doesn't make you feel very happy, but sometimes makes you feel bad or upset or jealous. But that makes us keep going on. For some reason, we have this addiction to just want more of it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really like that you're inspired towards making content that falls on the other side of Instagram, which is like you want to inspire, you want your friends to feel happy, you want to inspire your friends to take care of themselves and treat themselves, and that's really nice. I think that's the side of Instagram that we all should pivot to, and that's amazing. Also, speaking about how you mentioned that when you also take photographs, you choose the best one, and there are obviously a few of them or a lot of them that won't make the cut or aren't as good. But that's very that's natural for every art. Like I relate to you a lot on the basis of I don't have photography, but I have comedy or storytelling.
Yep.
It's like how you started with like a sad, upsetting start, where like you wanted photos of yourself, and it wasn't a happy start. It was a sad start, but you took that sadness, you took that lack of satisfaction, and you made it into something positive. You made it into a talent. I feel the same way about comedy, is that it started out with something that was really upsetting, but then I took that and I started to make jokes about it, and then and same with photography and comedy. There are obviously bad takes. When you take 10 photos and 9 of them are bad and 1 of them is great. That's the same with comedy. Even the best comedians, they do shows to test out material. I tell 100 jokes, and trust me, 99 of them are really bad. But that's how you hone your skill. So I don't think that's not just you. That's just like it's just something that happens with every craft or skill. But I really like and I really relate to your Marvel origin story of photography.
Thank you. I just want to add that I want to make my friend and people who hear this podcast feel that the photo doesn't mean everything when we do traveling.
Yeah.
Like they might see like good photo and they want to spend so much time to take photo, and then they forget the beautiful scenery and why they go to visit that place.
Right.
So I just want to remind them that photography might only like a memory to make them remember, so it is not the priority to me.
Yes.
I think the beautiful scenery and the fresh air that we get, and with the like magical thing that might happen when we do the traveling, like seeing the different culture of a small town or a bigger town, feeling the street and the view might make us feel like that is the best memory for someone's life. We can be a storytelling. Just photography is just one thing to support us to make like the good evidence that place is beautiful. But if it is already beautiful, we don't need it. So I just want people to like treat themselves in the exactly right way,
Right.
not like addicted to photo
Yeah,
and then
you don't want people to because that's also something that I think people might struggle with or are already struggling with is that when you're going to a beautiful place, you have to set a priority where sure you want to take photos, but you also have to live in the moment. I think that's what you're trying to let people know that prioritize living in the moment, prioritize experiencing the beauty in front of you before capturing it. Sure, you can capture it for memories and all of that, but
exactly.
first live in the moment, and that's really
Especially,
nice.
yeah, for my Asian friend, we know that they didn't like to read, like, for example, if we go to visit Canberra,
Yeah.
like, some people might think about where's the beautiful place to take photo,
Right.
but at least we should read all of the important landmark and the social and cultural aspect
Right.
in Canberra first before we go to visit them. As I study urban and regional planning,
Right.
so I recommend like everyone to just like take a look and see like the history or
Yes.
maybe something that is interesting about that place before they start to like visiting.
But you know what is interesting is that the places and most tourist places are also very aware of the fact that people want something where you can take good photos. Because these days, like back then, where like we didn't have cameras and phones, when I was really small, tourist places were filled with facts and signs that told about the history and the culture, and it used to be something. It used to be informative. And then there would be like one place where like you can like how like the Leaning Tower of Pisa has that like one photograph that everyone takes where you like kind of like it's like it's leaning on you. Like there are like these tourist photographs, but there's just like one or two of them. There are like 1-2 spots. But most of it was about learning. Most of it was about experiencing and admiring what's around you. But these days, even the places and institutions and heritage sites, they're very aware that people want to go to places which are photogenic. So they play around with lighting. They put like a photo booth thing. They put like a big sign that you can take photographs with. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think that's a good step.
I guess because they might don't really understand about the meaning of the word beautiful
Yeah.
because everyone is beautiful.
I love that. You're like Oprah. You're like
Yeah.
Mehershad.
And
Everyone is beautiful.
we just show them like how happy and like what do we have. No matter the light and the photogenic that you have in the expensive camera,
Right.
you are outside. You still look the same. You cannot cheat or you cannot lie people about you. I believe that like we have something that it is already unique,
Yeah.
and I just like taking some time to do it. However, I understand they might really passionate to like to get that kind of photo. It will make them feel happy.
Yeah.
So let's just let them do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. At one point, you want people to enjoy in the moment, but at one point, you also have to understand that some people just enjoy with taking this one photo that you want to.
Exactly.
It's amazing. This is really interesting. And you know what? You said earlier that everyone is beautiful. If you could go back in time, would you tell this to the small Vathanak when he was trying to feel beautiful and get photos of himself and not want to feel ugly? Would you go and talk to him and
I was so young by that time.
Yeah.
I might don't understand about it.
Yeah, but it's nice that you've like come full circle, and then now you've like realized no, it's not about ugly or photogenic. It's about just everyone's beautiful.
When you see yourself beautiful in the mirror,
Yeah,
it is like already happiness that come inside you. So you might feel you have everything, and the only like the hardest part is to find someone that see you beautiful. That is my stressing of everyone. That like because talking about love, people trying to find someone that think that they are beautiful
Yeah.
and see each other beautiful and go together.
yeah,
But why don't we just see ourselves in the mirror and think that we are beautiful and it is enough?
yeah.
In order to make like attractive thing or make people love you, you
Yeah.
need to love yourself and
Yeah.
like be who you are. Just I don't say people can be ugly. They also need to eat a lot of like vegetable fruit
Yeah.
and take care of their hair to
Yeah.
look healthy
Yeah.
and have good personality to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't say that the burglar could be beautiful. I refer to all of the positive things that we have make us beautiful inside
Yes.
our own and other people.
Yeah, you should write a weekly column in a newspaper, right? I think these are thoughts that need to be written about. And they're really positive, nice thoughts.
I don't really love to share.
Vathanak, then let me tell you, a podcast is the worst place to be. But we spoke elaborately about the similarities and the things that we relate on. But I also want to talk about the things that we don't have in similar and the diversity that we have.
Yep, sure.
In the sense that, so you're from Cambodia, and sure, we're two different nations, and there's a lot of dissimilarities. But yet again, in those dissimilarities, there are similarities because. So I'm just going to start with this. Until a few years back, I didn't know about Cambodia, and I'm really sorry. And I think quite a number of people back home might not extensively know about Cambodia, and I'm really sorry for that too. But it's unfortunate that we don't, given that how much like similarities India and Cambodia have. And it's just not similarities in like things like food and culture. It's just like there is direct influence from Cambodia to India and from India on Cambodia. Like one of the most beautiful places objectively in Cambodia is the Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
And that was built by Suryavarman II. And any Indian that's listening will identify Suryavarma as a very Hindu name, and that's because he was a Vaishnava. Basically, he used to pray to this god Vishnu, and like Vishnu is one of like the three major Indian gods. Like imagine it like you know how like Christianity has the Holy Trinity, or like like Two and a Half Men had like three main characters.
Yep.
That's basically like Hinduism. I'm obviously oversimplifying, but I don't mean to disrespect. But there's basically like three main gods in Hinduism, which is like Brahma, which is the creator of everything, Vishnu, the one that Suryavarman II liked a lot and prayed to, is the preserver of everything, and Shiva, who's the destroyer of everything. And I don't mean for this podcast to get about Hindu missionary stuff, but the reason I say this is because Vishnu is a very cool person. Sure, he's a god, but he's also very cool, is what I'm trying to say. And here's something interesting, is because I don't know why I'm talking about this, but Vishnu basically, someday I'm going to have a podcast about just like Hinduism and Hindu mythologies because it's very interesting. But so basically, Vishnu has this golden thing that rotates on his hand, and it's like this all powerful. It's called the Sudarshan Chakra. It's like the OG fidget spinner, and it's amazing. It's so cool. Sorry. So the point was that like Angkor Wat was like inspired by Hinduism, and it's really interesting because that's something that I wouldn't have ever imagined or known about. Like it's something that I don't think most people in India are aware about.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of like because when we met at the appointment ceremony, it was really strange because I thought you were from one of the Southeast Asian countries, because the traditional wear that you wore reminded me a lot of a kurta or a sherwani that we wear as a traditional wear.
Yeah.
So sorry, the point of this entire huge lecture is to say that there's a lot of like Indian/Hindu influence in Cambodia that we for some reason don't speak about, which is sad. The language Khmer, which is one of the leading languages in Cambodia, it's actually originating from Pallav, I think, which is Pali, yeah. Which is a language that originated in southern India, which is like a sister language to Tamil.
Yep.
Your name also I think has like Sanskrit roots.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just crazy how many similarities and influence that we have on each other that we don't know about.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say sorry if I tell something that is incorrect about my country, because I might don't know about it, but this is what I know, and what I might know about my country, but I just like feel a bit ashamed that I don't know everything about my country. I feel like I live in like I really want to become global citizen, so I just want to keep the balance of things. And I know it is bad that I don't know about my culture properly. So the thing that I talk right now, it doesn't mean that it is correct about my country, but it is what I know.
And that's what we want. The reason that
Yeah.
we speak to students and people that I know about their countries is that I don't want a textbook representation of every country. I don't want like the Wikipedia article of every country. I just want to know from someone who lives in a country. That's like the most organic view. And yes, this podcast isn't always factually correct. I might be wrong at a few things also. And that's okay. That's completely fine.
Let's talk about the pastime of my country.
Yeah.
Like we are also Hindu. Hindu is our religious.
Yeah,
So
because
by the time when we build, like by my ancestor built Angkor Wat, that is our like Hindu religious time.
yeah,
So Angkor Wat temple was built in the like Hindu.
the Hindu era or the during the Hindu inspired kingdoms.
Yeah, I think Hindu inspired kingdoms.
Yeah, because Jayavarmana II, Suryavarmana II, they were very like Hindu inspired. Yeah.
And like we know that the king is the like son of God or maybe someone who like sent from the God, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is already happened in
Yeah.
India. Yeah, so it is exactly the same that it is the inspire that they get it like from the connection between the God to the people and then make the kingdom become like animals and like I guess that that is the most brightest time of the kingdom of Cambodia.
Yes,
That-
because Suryavarmana II was called by the historians as the greatest empire, had the greatest empire and was the greatest emperor of Cambodia.
Yeah, so we after that we have Jayavarman VII.
Yes.
Yeah, that I guess Jayavarman VII is like one of the like most like everyone always talk about him and
Yeah.
respect him. in
He's like the
Cambodia.
Kim Kardashians of the Cambodian emperors.
But sorry about that. That is the time. Jayavarman VII is our idol. Let's say about it. He is the one who changed from Hindu to Buddhist.
I'm cool with that. I don't mind that because I'm only half Hindu. So it's okay.
Yeah. So by the time we change to Buddhist, that's why some temple in our country like
Yeah.
start to build in like Buddhist
Yes,
concept.
yes.
But and the inspiration from the Hindu to Cambodia, it like we know that when we have like some inspiration or concept, we need to change it to the, I mean to the traditional like living of Cambodia.
Yeah,
So like we also have Vishnu, Seva, and Ganesh, the god with a elephant.
Oh, Ganesh, yes.
Okay,
Sorry,
Ganesh.
no, it's just my accent, sorry.
So yeah, like in our museum, we
Wait,
have-
you have Ganesha in Cambodia?
I still pray to him to get.
Dude,
like,
do you know Ganesha is my favorite person in the world? Like he's the funniest god. He's amazing.
but we pray for success and about study, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you can pray about whatever you want. He's
Whatever.
very kind. Like,
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, traditionally we pray to him. We in our prayers that we say to him, we are basically praying to him and asking him to reduce the stresses and problems in our life. Like I think he's called the Vigna Dharta, which is basically he takes all of our problems away.
Okay.
Wasn't sure about education because we have another goddess called Saraswati that we pray to. We have like specific departments in our in our religion. We have like specific people we go to when we need something very specific.
I think let's say that's why I mean the something that we get from India.
Yeah.
We might use in different
Yeah,
terms.
it's like a remix of a song. You know, you like a song, that's amazing. You make it better. Like the Mike Posner song, "I Took a Pill in Ibiza." That it used to be a single, and no one really liked it. And then they made a remix of it, and people loved it. So I really like how like people get influenced by other religions, and they have their own take on it.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, and after they change like from like one era to one era, so we know that we start to develop something that we have, and then the Buddhists come, and
Yeah.
then we change the kingdom to become the kingdom of Buddhists.
Yeah.
So everything have changed. Like we know that for the ancient time, Hindu normally we love to be on the top.
Yeah.
Like we love to be like have hierarchical living. So we have like people love to have high education, high knowledge, and like want to have good position and have ambitious.
Yeah.
That is what I have learned about Hindu.
Yeah.
So when they change to Buddhist, we focus on education. Like knowledge is the only thing that we have to learn.
Yeah.
So like humble thing, like how to like doing good thing to people or to
because
animals.
Buddhism, like Gautam Buddha, he was always he's known as the enlightened one because he focused on knowledge and enlightenment and about like finding peace within yourself.
Because he is a philosopher.
Yeah.
So we don't use something about magic anymore when we talk about Buddhist.
Yeah.
But because of the influencing from the Hindu and the influencing between like other belief in my country, so it's still influence to us who are Buddhists to believe in the magic thing, like the magic call praying to like for the Buddhists to take care. But the original Buddhist is just focused on knowledge.
Yeah. So it's like a nice blend of the two. Like there's obviously finding inner peace and being happy and being humble and being satisfied. But there's also the faith aspect of Hinduism, which is you pray, you look to deities for help. So it's a nice blend. And because 97% of Cambodians are actually practicing Theravada Buddhism. And that was actually originated in Sri Lanka. So it's really nice, like, we aren't geographically that close, but still we have so much influence from the Southeast Asian region and Indian region on Cambodia, which is, it's interesting. And it's really nice that, plus we really look similar, you know that? Like, sure, if you were in India, then you wouldn't look that similar, but when you go to another country, I can understand if people like misunderstood us for both of us to be Cambodians or for both of us to be Indian. I can see that happening.
I think the Indian influence for the Hindu and Buddhist Theravada is go to Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia.
Yes.
We are, I don't know the term, like from the Indo-China things. Like, so technically the 4 or 5 countries are like getting involved in each other for a long time. Just right now we have like different language, different like government, but we still come from the same, something that is the same, just like India and Cambodia right now.
So I don't want to focus too much on India and Cambodia. I want to focus more on Cambodia, and I want to focus more on you. So you're basically studying you're doing a master's of urban planning and management.
No, urban and regional planning.
Sorry. But you also have a lot of interest in environmental management, which is something that you did even back home.
Let's say I get this inspiration from my mother. Like, she is someone who really love to plan something. Like a kind of fruit or flowers. So when I was a child, I lived in like environmental friendly living conditions. So I always love to like see beautiful flower blossom and see like birds. And after I finished my high school, so I didn't go to environmental school.
You went to architectural engineering, right?
I went to the most competitive engineering school in the country.
Institute of Technology in Cambodia. See, I stalked you on LinkedIn.
That's good. So by the time that is the problem. I mean, we don't know what is the career or personality that suitable with me by that time. So I chose civil engineer, and then when I go into like year 3, we can choose to become like between civil engineer or architectural engineer. And then I chose architectural engineering because it like more relevant to art, like something that related to landscape and urban planning. And after graduate, I start my career as civil engineering for like 2.5 years. And back then, to my architectural engineering life, I I start to stay at home and then feel like I need to do something because I don't really like that subject.
Yeah.
I feel that it is a part that I like, but it is not totally what I love.
Yeah.
So I
So there are
start.
like aspects of it that you like, but as a subject as a whole, it's not something that really interests you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that changed my mind, like changed my life ever, is the time that I paid $20 to join in a camping. That
Ah.
is a camping that funded by UNESCO, but
Yeah.
and there are a lot of like young people
Yeah.
that they are going together to go to a remote area, and then we going to teach the community,
Yeah.
and then children about like agriculture, about environment and education, and I start to feel like I can make something change. Like my life could not like just go to be as like that civil engineer or architectural engineer.
Yeah.
I can do something that is different. So I start to participate in the other program that talk about climate change, or maybe the even that like when people talk about plastic free or talk about animal. So it always helped me. I always join in that kind of events.
Yeah.
So I I keen to like connect with other people who have the same passion,
Yeah.
and tell all of my friends about the story that I have to inspire them to do the same.
Yeah.
Although it is failure sometimes. Not everyone love to do it.
Yeah.
Like some people are selfish. I also selfish, but we might have some passion to do something that we think that we need to do it.
Yeah.
And the good thing in 2015,
Yeah.
I have participated in, like get chance to participate in Young Southeast Asian Leader Initiative Program
Yeah.
that is initiated by Barack Obama, the former
President of the United States. Yeah.
So I participated in the regional workshop about environmental issue
Yeah.
in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and I participated in the environmental sustainability of the professional fellowship in the United States, and then I participated in the like Young Southeast Asian Leader Initiative summit.
Yeah.
So all of the events are related to Obama. So the summit,
Yeah.
I have chance to be in the room, like in the hall with Barack Obama, and
Wow.
then get inspiration from him about what I did. And I feel like this is the honor that I held it for myself, and this is also the reward of what I care.
Yeah.
And then it inspired me to do like more things that related to environment.
Yeah.
However, when I did the fellowship in the United States about environmental sustainability,
Yeah.
they sent me to a really beautiful city console that is a small city hall in Oregon State.
Yeah.
So I didn't even learn about sustainable, like environmental sustainability, but I have been in the like city planning department.
Yeah.
So I met a lot of people and get inspiration from them, and I believe that like I could make change, and I want like to change my community to be sustainable, livable, and fight with the climate change.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here to study about urban planning at UXU, because UXU is like I am in the School of Earth and Environmental Science.
Yeah.
So everything that I learn are more likely related to sustainable development
Yeah.
and environmental things. So I really love it, and I like think that when I go back home, I can like keen to make something that is bigger, to have like Cambodia, especially Cambodian young people,
Yeah.
to understand about what is the role
Yeah.
of them to like fight with the climate change and like concern about environment in my social.
Yeah, I really like it that you're keen to learn and get your education, and then go back home and inspire change there. And I also really like that you were influenced by your mom at an early age to plan better and to be to have this connection with nature, and that after 15, 18, 20 years. Led you to be in the same hall as Barack Obama, talking about environmental sustainability and being inspired to bring out more change. And it's amazing because we need people like that, especially now more than ever. People who care about climate change, people who understand the necessity of doing something. And that's really nice. I really connect with your entire your life, your journey about and your love for environmental science, which started from loving nature and now to preserving nature, and then now using nature and living in an association that's close to nature and that's more nature friendly. And I think that's really nice. I wish you go ahead and inspire more people like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But however, although I really keen like for environmental like participation, I also spend my time to participate in art, in civic engagement, or in something about like cultural. I think most of the thing because I love to talk.
Yeah.
Like, my English is not good. That's why I don't like going to talk. I feel shy, but I know how. It doesn't mean that I'm shy and don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I just feel not really like. I mean what I mean is when we talk in our language,
Yeah.
we can show everything that I have to
Right.
people.
Yeah.
So yeah, back.
Do you feel like maybe language barrier is sometimes what makes you a bit hesitant to speak and express?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really fair, and that's something that happens to mostly all of the international students, especially if you're from a country where English isn't the first language. A lot of us are inhibited by the language barrier from doing and saying and expressing what we truly believe. Yeah.
And the culture is also different
Yeah.
when we come to study abroad. So what I need to do is like climb up again. It is not in Cambodia that I already on the top of
Yes,
like networking
yes.
with people and then make like people have fun and then talk to me.
Yes.
But right here, I need to learn about culture. So how many culture that we have in here? It is multicultural.
Yeah.
Like so, I have to like do the observation first
Right.
about India, about Indonesia,
Yeah.
maybe about Colombia, or I need to check it like to see what is that you guys usually do and usually talk.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't talk much back then when I meet you guys or meet the other.
Yeah, because you were one of the first people that when we met at the appointment ceremony, when like it was like the third or fourth person that I ever met, and I know this because we have a nice photo also.
Yeah.
But I really I relate with what you're saying in the sense that international students are inspiring because especially when an international student achieves something, I feel really proud because I know that they had to start from level 0. They had to start. They had to overcome a little more just because they have a disadvantage with this not being their country, their city, their culture, or also in some cases not their first language.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is challenging when you come to a new city. But how are you finding it now?
Actually, I don't know what is Brisbane back then in Cambodia.
Yeah.
I know only Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
And that is what made me want to visit Australia.
Yeah.
That is frankly that I told you. And people who listen to this podcast. But I chose Brisbane because of the University of Queensland.
Yeah.
And I come here. And the thing that shocked me the most is I feel like I chose the best place to come to live. And that is the best city ever in Australia after I travel.
But that's nice, right?
You know why? I do think something about like city planning. So I need to see like the development. Like I want to see the investment, the development, how the city work. And in Brisbane, it is not the largest city. So it is the third one. So it still have like a lot of things that they do the development and then promote young people to do have more engagement.
Right. It's a place which is it has more opportunities than the big cities.
Yeah. So I could come here to learn and to see. Yeah. For example, I become a part of BISA, like Brisbane International Student Ambassador.
Yes.
So I don't, as a city planner, I don't come to join with you guys to get only like networking or maybe become the ambassador.
Yeah.
But I come to learn how the city, like the Brisbane marketing work to create this kind of program
Right.
to like promote about the city.
Yeah, because
So,
you're academically interested. You're not just interested in Brisbane, or most of us are interested in Brisbane as a city, and that's it. We enjoy it as a place where we live, place where we travel, and that's where it stops. But for you, you're academically interested to not just Brisbane as a city where you live and you study
Yeah.
and you travel, but it's also a city where you're trying to observe and educate yourself over how it functions, how it promotes itself, how the planning is done, and that's really interesting that um, you're so much more inclined towards Brisbane because it aligns with what you're academically interested in.
sure.
Yeah.
And like people always said that CBD is so small, like if compared with Melbourne and Sydney.
Yes.
But I think it is enough, and it will become bigger.
Yeah.
So why we don't like just sit down and then read the news and on the social media to see like how great Brisbane will be. Like
Yeah.
it start to have metro plan, so the city start to like send you the information,
Right.
the news about the metro. So
Yes.
I could learn about how the city deliver the news to like
Yes.
to get the like community participation.
Yeah.
So the class that I have learned and the Brisbane development could link to each other. So
Right.
I could see something that really perfect and suitable with my like academic journey.
Yeah, that's really nice because you are going to university in a city. So you learn in the university, you're learning about some things, but that university is also in a city where those things are happening. So it's like if I was learning about DNA
Yes.
while the DNA was being discovered, like kind of, right? And I don't think like Sydney and Melbourne, like bigger cities, would have this opportunity. It's like if I was interested in learning how a cricket ground is built, I can't go to Wankhede or the Kaaba or Lords. You know, it's already built.
Yeah.
We should try to explore and find a way to get you involved with the actual people involved in the city planning in Brisbane, because I think you would be a nice fit.
I will next. I think mid-January I will do like placement at the city council.
Ah,
So I might have
nice.
something to learn
Oh,
about
that's
it.
good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like one of the nicest interactions that both of us had was at the student leadership night.
Yeah.
Like 2 months back.
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing good stuff for UQ. You're doing good stuff. You're very ambitious and you're very positive and you're very like inspiring. And the things that you want to do and the goals that you have are the goals that universally all of us want to support you, because those are the goals that we want to be accomplished. Like we want a voice like you. The Cambodia would love a voice like you, inspiring its youth towards environmental management. And I really think, in that sense, you're doing a very good job of representing Cambodia. Even though you mentioned that you're not very well versed and you don't know everything about your country, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, even if you're not the most knowledgeable Cambodian that there is, you're still a very inspiring Cambodian. And I think that's a good representative of Cambodia. And I think that's really nice. So you spoke about nature, you spoke about how your mom influenced you to get into saving the environment and caring about the environment. And that's not just plants, but also animals, because the one thing that you do in Cambodia is you rescue cats, abandoned cats and animals. And I think that's really noble and really nice.
That thing just happened when I don't know why my family really like cats. Like
Yeah.
we all love cats, and even my little sister or me and my mother, we don't know why we always pick cats and then come back home and then someone like another cat. If my mom brought one cat back home, we just said another cat, and then if I bring one cat back home, I said another cat. So it seems like our family do the cat collection.
Right.
So wherever that we see abandoned cat and it is pity.
Yeah.
And like we think that it need to fit, like it really need people to have them.
Yeah.
We will have them.
Yeah.
So like I think I have more than 15 cats back
Wow.
at home, like including cat that was born like at home, and then
yeah.
cat that we do the collection from.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at the uni, there's one day that I saw a really pretty cat, so I decided to skip my class to bring that cat back home.
Okay.
And there's other time that I skip like late at school, like because I need to bring that cat to the canteen.
Right.
Because I believe that in canteen have is suitable for him. At least if I could not bring him back home, I should like find that tell him the way to get the food.
Right.
And sometimes I see people throw the cat that just was born away. So
Yes.
I brought that cat. I go to the market, buy the beer, and then I like try to do the befitting to them, and then take care of them just like my baby. And then we all did the same. And sometimes we have like a cat that just was like just have the baby, so we brought another cat to eat with them.
Oh.
That's all that we have. It's just like we have like emotional connection with the cats.
Right.
And I believe that the feeling of abandoned from someone,
Yeah.
it's just like the hardest thing. So
Yes.
I really wish that people could value life. They
Yeah.
should think that animal also like the owner of the earth. Like everyone, like every piece of thing in the universe is not owned by human.
Yeah.
Human is just like another piece of the universe. So we should care and like give the value not only each other,
Yeah.
but
Also
give the-
animals.
yeah, animal,
Yeah.
tree,
plants,
yeah.
nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, as a Cambodian, when you're living in Brisbane, do you miss back home? And like, what do you do when you miss your home, your culture?
I don't know how to cook. So technically, I really miss my mom and my sister food. They always cook for me from
Yeah.
like morning, afternoon, evening. So like when I work at home, I don't normally eat at home. I eat outside with friends. But when I come here, I
Right.
always eat outside.
That's something that's
Yeah. So I really miss my mom food.
You know that's the entire. It's a good analogy about like you don't know what you have until you lost it. Like back home, most students, we never love home food. We always love going outside.
Sure.
Then once you go to another country, your life changes and you value home cooked food. Like right now, if I had an option to go to the best restaurant in India, or for my mom to make lady fingers for me,
Yeah.
or paneer for me, this is not a joke. I swear I would eat those lady fingers. I would love to. Like it just changes your world. But I know that the moment I go back to India and eat lady fingers for 2 months, I will want to go out and eat, and that's human nature.
Yeah, that's what happened. But another thing is I believe that we might need the sense of where you belong or sense of the community. I might have like too strong sense of community to Cambodia.
Yeah.
Maybe because of my enthusiasm to change people, and like Cambodia is still a developing country that have
Right.
a lot of things that need to change. So
Right.
I really want to change. Like whenever I see the new that bad thing happen in Cambodia,
Right.
I think that why don't I like at least be a part and that
Right.
could change. So I really miss all of the places that I go, and the only good thing is all of my best friends are staying in abroad, come to
Okay.
study just like me.
Yeah.
So they are not in Cambodia.
Right.
So
So
they
you
are-
don't really, because even if you like think about, or even if you're tempted to go to Cambodia, you know that not all of your friends are there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a good thing because you're not that tempted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and,
good.
And all of my best friends are like a part of a big part of my life, just like my mother and sister.
Yeah.
So like all of them just like in the US, in Sydney.
There's one in Sydney?
Yeah, and another 2 in UK, and another 3 in France.
You have a lot of best
So
friends.
all of my best friends are going up. Yeah, I have about 20 best friends, I guess.
You have, what? That's amazing. I don't have 20 friends. I have 3 friends. I have 2 best friends.
But my best friend don't know all things about me. What I mean is all of 20 best friends need to come together
to collect, like, to all contribute to, like, then they will know. Like, if they all come together, then they will know Vathanak. Otherwise, individually.
Yeah.
It's so strange that you have so many great accomplishments, but what I'm most impressed about is you having 20 best friends. Like, that is, like, you met Barack Obama, you were in the same room as him, you were saving the planet. Sure. But what I am interested and what I am, like, really respecting is you having 20 best friends. That's amazing. I'm really, really glad that you did this podcast. I know that you're not someone who loves talking about himself, and I know that you're not someone who wants the attention. But thank you for doing this, and I hope it was a nice start to your December. And this was amazing, and I hope that people who listen got something to learn. There's so much that we have in common, especially if you're from India and you're listening. There's so much that we have in common with Cambodia. If you're someone from Cambodia listening, you have so much in common with India, and I hope this podcast has been a good celebration of that similarities that we have.
Yeah.
And it's also been a celebration of you being a good inspiration, and you being a change in the world and in Cambodia that we really need. And I wish you good luck with that. And thank you again for coming here. And thanks to everyone who's been listening.
Thank you so much, and thank everyone for listening to my story. I almost feel that I did a lot of good things in my previous time. Thank you for reminding me that I did many good things.
Yeah,
I just feel so useless yesterday, but I hope that today is...
Yes, today is it's a good start to the day. It's a good start to the month, and I hope it's also been a good reminder that what you've done is a lot, and it should be enough. And it's okay if it isn't, because there's more to do, and I hope you do more.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Are you gonna make it happen today? Or will you just settle for another delay? Come on, you gotta make it happen now. Come on, you gotta make it happen now. Sit. Are you gonna wait and sit on your hands? Or will you go and start making out a list of demands? Cause you can make it happen, so choose to put your passion in mind. Start attacking, don't lose out on the action. Are you gonna make it